Thanks, Allie. There's an investigation into whether one high school in Ohio violated voting regulations, and it influenced the election when they allegedly bused students to a Board of Elections office during school hours to vote. But they were given only Democratic sample ballots and then ice cream afterwards. Joining us now is former Ohio Secretary of State and Senior Fellow with the American Civil Rights Union, Ken Blackwell. Good morning, Ken. What is this about? This sounds incredible.
Well, on the more favorable end, it's about a civic lesson. On the disturbing end, it's about a manipulation of students on two fronts. One, unevening the playing field by giving them only a Democrat sample ballot, and two, by providing them a reward for their vote. Both would be open violations of fair election laws in the state of Ohio.
So these are 18-year-olds and plus who actually have the capacity and the right to vote in the state of Ohio. They were bused in a church bus that someone had loaned, and they were given only Democratic sample ballots, I guess, on the ride to examine on the way over?
Absolutely. And you might dismiss this as clumsy execution of a civics opportunity, but this is a recurring pattern with CPS. They right now are operating under a court-structured agreement with some other parties about what they can and cannot do on school property and with students. And so, given the past occurrence of campaign irregularities, this is just another disturbing incident in a pattern of these irregularities and problems.
Ken, you're a graduate of Hughes High School?
Graduate of Hughes High School. My wife was a former principal of Hughes High School.
And what is CPS?
CPS is Cincinnati Public Schools.
Okay, and the public schools have made a statement. This is what they've said with regard to the allegations that have been made in the lawsuit. No CPS personnel engaged in the promotion of candidates or any political party. So the question I have for you is the fact that you're handing the students, and maybe their first time that they're ever voting in any election, only a Democratic sample ballot. Does that constitute electioneering? Does that constitute an act that would influence an impressionable young student voting for the first time?
Well, Peter, as a lawyer, you know that what it really suggests is that it warrants an investigation. That's why I think the charge is an appropriate charge, and I think given the past violations and the past court-structured agreements, this warrants a deep investigation. Okay. We have to shine the light on this because there is that possibility that electioneering took place.
All right, so thank you for shining the light on it. Assuming that it's in fact true, assuming that they were given only Democratic ballots, went in and voted, and then somehow some would say as a reward received free ice cream afterwards, as silly as it sounds, what should be the punishment? What should be the sanction for such an act? Should those votes be invalidated? What happens?
Well, no, I don't think the votes should be invalidated, but I think one, the reaction and the penalty should be significant enough that it sends a message throughout the entire state of Ohio. Peter, look, as a political analyst, you know this, that the one group where the Obama administration and the Democrats are still overwhelmingly popular are among voters between the ages of 18 and 24. This sounds like, looks like a political operation. Whether or not the public schools were misused and abused in this, or whether there was some complicity, this has to be determined by the courts. And I think that the courts will apply the appropriate penalty.
Ken?
But the thing that we can't do is sort of dismiss it as something that was a pure accident or insignificant.
Thank you for pointing the spotlight this morning, Ken Blackwell. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for coming by.
Good to be with you.
Good. Students are crying foul. Their principal